Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you guys will hang around till after the break, I'll show you what happens when Tina goes to bed and leaves me alone in the kitchen. Alright guys, like I said, the weather has turned off a little bit cooler, and we've got a load of tomatoes that have come in. They're going to be about our last load to come in. That means it's time to make barbecue sauce. Now I'm gonna recruit Tina. She's been working hard. She got all these tomatoes picked for me, but I'm gonna recruit her. She's gonna help me get them chopped up, and we'll run them through our tomato press and get them crushed. But then she's headed to bed. I'm gonna be on my own. We're gonna figure out whether I can remember how to cook. And better still, we'll figure out if I can remember how to can. So we'll get in here and we'll see if we can't make some good old barbecue sauce, and see if I can wreck the kitchen with a pressure canner. So we're going to head inside. I'll show you how I make barbecue sauce, and we'll just follow along through the footage I got. So we'll be back at the end to talk to you. Hang on one second. Alright guys, we're getting ready to start making this barbecue sauce. We got all these tomatoes in here. We got 3 big racks there. Got 3 big racks there. But this is going to be about our last tomato picking for the year. We pulled out a bunch of different ingredients. We're going to be working from a basic recipe, but we're not going to have a specific recipe because we don't know exactly how many tomatoes we have once they get broke down and once we get them to sauce. So we need to get these cut down so we can get them through the processor. So that's going to be the first step. We got a couple cutting stations set up. And Tina and I are going to get these cut down, and then we'll get them run through the press. Alright guys, we got these tomatoes broke down, and we've got them here in these pans. We ended up with 2.5 big pans. That's a big stock pot there, it's full. That's our big thing you've seen us make jelly in. But we got about 2.5 big pans. We're getting set up here. We're going to get the tomato squisher out here. But also got some of the tomato seeds from the chopping process. We've got those set up to ferment there. If any of you are interested in tomato seeds, why don't you leave it down in the comments, and we'll see about getting some packaged up. Maybe we'll put them in the Etsy store or something. But leave us a comment. They're mixed seeds. You're going to get a mix of all kinds of tomatoes, but they're the ones that we use for our sauce. So over the years we've just kind of collected them, and no real able to tell you other than they're indeterminate. Most of them are Roma type. We have a few rounds and a few cherries, but they all mix together to make a really good sauce, what we use every year. So if you're interested in seeds, let us know down in the comments. That'll give us an idea how many to put in the Etsy store. Alright guys, we're just breaking out the tomato juicer, or a smasher. It crushes them down into sauce pretty good. Tina's getting it set up. We'll set it on top of one roasting pan, and we'll let it feed into another one. But it won't take us long. We don't have but about these 3 pans to crush up. So probably won't film a whole lot of that process. You guys have seen that. If you want to see how that tomato press works, it has its own video. Just go back in our cooking playlist or something. You can check that out. But we'll go ahead and get this thing set up. We'll get these tomatoes crushed up, and I'll show you once we get them to the pan. Here, say hi to everybody, T. And I'm sure they're wondering what slippers you got on today.
Sharks.
Sharks. You're wearing shark slippers? Looks like they're eating your legs.
Yep.
But, alright, we'll get this thing set up. We'll get these tomatoes smashed, and we'll bring you back and show you what we're doing. Alright guys, we got everything broke down from the saucing process. And we got the sauce over here in the pan. Thankfully we just have the one pan, but it's a big water bath canner full of sauce. So normally we have 5 or 6 pans we have to try to boil down and get into this one. So we're going to go ahead and reduce this probably at least by half. That's going to take a little while. We're going to do it over just a medium to low medium heat. And we'll get that up to temperature. We don't want to burn it. The water bath canner has a real thin bottom in it, so don't want to burn it on the bottom. But we're just going to get it warmed up real good. We'll get it to a boil for a little bit. We'll reduce it some, and then we'll bring you back and show you what we're doing next. Alright guys, we're going to jump back in here. One thing we can do with all barbecue sauces is they all have something in common. which is apple cider vinegar. We need to add acidity to the tomatoes, and we have to sweeten them with either molasses or brown sugar. And if you don't know, brown sugar is just white sugar with molasses on it. So not a big difference there. But what we're going to do is we're going to add these 2 cups of apple cider vinegar. We'll add this, this is a 32-ounce bag of dark brown sugar. And we're going to add this 12-ounce bottle of Grandma's molasses. So we're going to throw those in there. That'll help us decide how far to boil this down. We can add the ingredients and then just boil down until it tastes right. So guys, we are just going to kind of wing this. It's a big pot. There's no way to make a recipe for this big a batch. So guys, we're just going to go. We're going to get these in here because we know that's at least got to go in there. We have some other ingredients to go in later that we'll add into taste as we get a little closer. But these need to go in. So we might as well go ahead and get those incorporated now. Alright guys, we've had this cooking a little bit, and you can see it's starting to take on that little bit darker color of barbecue sauce, not quite so red tomato-y, but it'll continue to change colors and get darker and darker. But we're going to stay on the sweet side of things, so we're getting ready to add our next ingredients, and that is going to be 32 ounces of honey and 12.5 ounces of maple syrup. So we're going to continue to sweeten this and add different flavor profiles to it. But that's going to be our next step. We're going to add the maple syrup and the honey to the barbecue sauce here, and we'll bring you back in a little bit. We'll keep an eye on the time here too. This is going to be an all-nighter. We're at 11:47 right now. So we'll go ahead and get these in here. We'll get them mixed up, and we'll bring you back when we get ready to do the next step. Alright guys, we're still going good on the boiling process. We've added a lot of things to this. I know it doesn't look like the level's going down, but we've added a lot of things to it, and we keep boiling it down, and it's staying about the same level as it was when you originally saw it. So it'll keep continuing to boil down, but it's time to start working on the savory side of our sauce. We've got a little bit of ketchup. We're going to add about a cup of ketchup. We're going to add about half a cup of yellow mustard. We're going to add about 1/4 of a cup of Worcestershire sauce, and we're going to add a large tablespoon of liquid smoke. So we're just starting on the savory side of it. We want to give it a little bit of, grind it out a little bit. We got plenty of sweet going on in there, but now it's time to give it some regular flavors. We want to light up as much of the tongue as possible. So we're going to go ahead, like I said, we'll get these ingredients in here. We'll bring you back when we move on to the next step. Alright guys, we're still rolling along here. It's now about 1 in the morning. We're still working on the savory side of things. So, next things to go in, we're going to put in about a tablespoon of each. We've got some Weber dry rub there. We got some cayenne pepper. We got some chipotle, some paprika, some garlic, and some onion. So we're going to start out with about a full tablespoon of each, and then we'll bring you back if we need to make any further adjustments. I have a feeling we're going to put in a little extra garlic and onion, but that's what we're going to add to continue down the savory road, and we'll just bring you back when we get a little bit closer. Alrighty guys, we've shut the heat off on the barbecue sauce. As you can see, it's taken on that darker brownish red color. That's what we wanted to see in our barbecue sauce. It tastes fantastic. It's a little sweet, a little heat, and a little savory. So it is 6:14 in the morning. It is time. We're going to pull this off the heat and get to canning it. So I'll bring you back and show you that process here in a little bit. Alright guys, we're set up for canning here, and since I'm working by myself, I'm just going to tell you that Tina and I can almost exactly the same. We've got lids back here and some hot water. We're going to fill these up to about 1 inch of head space, and we'll carry them on over here and put them in the water, or the pressure canner. So guys, have been up all night. We've just got to get these canned up. I'll bring you back when I got this canner full. Let's see, it is 6:23 in the morning. So I'm going to get rolling on this stuff, and like I said, I'll bring you back and show you when the canner's full. Alright guys, we got our 18 canned up here. We've got 2 layers in the canner. We got a little bit left over, so we're going to go ahead and get these running, and then we'll probably come back and run a second batch. It'll be small, but we'll hold that batch off and make sure that all of these seal first. So any that don't seal can get run with the second batch, but that's where we're at so far. I'll bring you back here in just a little bit. Alright guys, we got this first load out of the canner. That's the first 18. You can see it continued to darken up while it's in the canner. It took on a really nice color. Hope you can see that. But really nice color. You can hear them pinging there in the background. But we'll go ahead. We've started the second load. We'll get those done. We'll get them out, and we'll show you what we got for our final product. But that's how they're looking so far. Alright guys, I'll bring you in for one last look at the barbecue sauce here. Let's see if we can get up close and get some of that good color. But it passed Tina's taste test inspection this morning. We ended up with 23 pints, and that'll last us quite a while. It's a little, about a jar a pint. So guys, we got a lot of really good barbecue sauce. We're glad to have it. I'll bring you back in just a second, and wish you well. Alright guys, that's about going to wrap it up for the video. Really happy with how the sauce turned out. Tina woke up this morning in between the first and second loads, so we were able to pop one open, and I'm happy to report that it passed taste testing. So guys, we are really happy with it. The color turned out great. It's really sweet, kind of spicy, and pretty savory in the middle. So we didn't talk a whole lot about the spice. I did put some cayenne and some chipotle in there, and a little bit of crushed red pepper. And we blended those in really well with the immersion blender, so we got a nice smooth thing. Doesn't look like there's a bunch of chunks or seeds or anything in there. The immersion blender does a pretty good job with it, and we used it several times through the cook down process. That also helps you come out with a really smooth, creamy sauce. So guys, we're real happy with the barbecue sauce. You'll see us using it in some of our cooking videos along the way, and I'll probably break it out when we get the barbecue set up. So just look forward to that. Guys, if you liked the video, we hope you'll give it a thumbs up, and leave us a comment down below. Tell us what you thought of it, or what you might have put in it differently. But if you like the content here on the channel, we hope you'll subscribe. Down next to the subscribe button is a bell. If you guys will hit that bell, that'll send you a notification whenever we release a new video. That's a great way to keep up with the channel, guys. So we really appreciate having you guys here, and you guys spending your time with us. But I'm getting ready to go to bed. It's been a long night, and we'll just catch you in the next one.